Here we are at Quick Fix Golf, quickfixgolf.com, where you can get a free analysis of your swing. And online tonight, doing this analysis would be Darren DeMailey, who heads up Myrtle Beach. Hello, Darren.
Hi, Robert. How are you today?
Oh, I'm just fine. How are you today? Is Mr. Rogers here?
It's such a pleasure to be a part of this again.
Oh, I'm sure it is. If you weren't locked in, you wouldn't be doing it. And
That's right.
nobody else would be listening to it if they weren't locked in the house.
No, exactly.
But if you want to get analysis of your swing, personally done by either myself or Darren, and we'll attach a drill for you, and it's absolutely free. It's quickfixgolf.com. Just go there and look for free analysis online. And load it up on our site or just attach it to an email and turn it loose. Today's topic is the legs. What do the legs do in the golf swing? And what did you say, Darren, that Grout wouldn't allow Jack to use his legs for 2 years or something? What was the deal?
Yeah, that's when he first started. Yep. When he first started learning the game, he wasn't allowed to use his legs, which taught him how to use his arms and hands.
Well, I was desperately trying to find it today, and I was so busy at the range I couldn't do it. But I had that article from Golf Digest where Nicklaus said, in his own words, the guy asked him, the interviewer said, did you attribute a lot of your success to your tremendous leg drive? And he said, I've heard that a lot. Everybody talks about my legs. I never felt like I used my legs. He said, my legs gave me a firmer base to be able to swing my arms harder from. So he's grabbing the ground with his legs and he's ripping with the arms, which makes sense with what Darren
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly it.
So it matches up with what Darren was saying, and it's now this is Tom Weiskopf. Now Tom and Jack used to play on the same team together in college, didn't they? Ohio State. And I'll tell you what, Weiskopf just had a beautiful, beautiful golf swing, and he just hit a dynamite ball. I don't know whether some of his mind was working right, but anyway, see that hip? And watch those knees. That's the old 1970s move. You'll see it on Tom Watson, all them. And I think that was to their detriment. That's why so many of them had operations. And what they call it now is the slide and flip. Back then, was the leg drive, I think a lot of the idea up there was a lot of guys had back in those days in the early 70s was that by driving the legs like that, you could hold the angle better, which we already said we don't want to do that in the first place. But that was the word out there. Now
right.
Go ahead.
And that makes sense. It comes back to the handle dragging, which was definitely something popular as you were growing up and when you were in your prime. And if you handle drag, you definitely have to use your legs. And I think some of it is because of the golf ball back then. You don't necessarily have to handle drag nowadays because the ball doesn't spin much.
Oh, so you think the slide and flip actually helps you reduce spin on a golf ball?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, because it forces you to handle drag there. The two go hand in hand. So the more you handle drag, the less dynamic loft you have, which reduces the amount of spin.
Oh, I got you, because that's right. Like it's a 6-iron is spinning at like a 6,000, and 7-iron spinning at 7,000. If you turn your 7-iron into a 6-iron, your 7-iron now is spinning 6,000.
Yep, exactly.
There you go.
And a big difference with the golf ball back then, right? Big difference.
Telling me. The one thing I loved about the old ball, though, was watching Arnie hit balls, and it was like the ball went up a staircase. It would go off at a lower trajectory, and then it would zip up, and it would zip up, and it would zip up. And then it was really weird to watch. I don't know how he did that, but he did. And
that goes back to some of the old ball flight theories about the ball following the path of the club, and that would make sense because of the old ball was a little stickier and it'd stay on the face longer than today's golf ball. And if it stays on the face longer, the path is going to influence it a lot more. So that makes a lot of sense where that ball would start low because the club is moving down into the ball.
Right. And it's like now today they say that you're ballooning the ball. His ball is like you're trying to hit it low, but then it went up in the air. It would look like we're climbing stairs. It was really something. I wish I had a picture of it. Everybody could see it. But you see how his knees are working here. which I don't agree with anymore today. But, you know, Tom Weiskopf, it's a shame, Darren, you probably never got a chance to see him. But man, could he hit
No,
it.
I didn't.
Could he hit it. But he was, let's just say, colorful, to say the least. Where Jack, I guess, we just had a better head on his shoulders. Um, I think, I don't know, what do you, I think the less the legs do, the better.
Well, it kind of goes back to what we've been talking about a couple webinars about, you know, hips and body motion and how it all relates to that. So to me, that's what it all boils down to. You know, your leg action is a direct influence on where your club face is pointing in the swing.
Well, I picked VJ here on purpose because he moves around a lot. So he has a lot of knee action, which you would think, look at how he releases that golf club with that right hand. Look at that. Right hand cuts right off the golf club. Um, that would be high risk, but I know Derek was telling me, Derek Sanders was, what's Aquaman? I never remember Aquaman's name.
Woody Austin.
Woody Austin, that's it. Woody Austin. Caddy for Woody Austin. He said we was out there and VJ had one of those orange whips with the ball on the end, and he was teeing up balls. He had it pretty high, but he was hitting it about 220 right down the middle every time with that orange whip. Because you imagine how accurate his.
I've seen him use that. Oh yeah, I've seen him with the heavy driver, but I've never seen him with the orange whip.
He said he said it was blowing everybody's mind. All the pros were watching him. They said they couldn't believe it. He'd hit it right in the center of that thing because you had to catch it right in the center. I mean, right in the center.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Right in the center, and he was hitting it like he was hitting over 200 yards, flush every time. Now you say that, you say, how come he didn't win every tournament he plays in? I don't know. It's just this game it's a weird game. Here's Watson in the old days with the knees. So we look at the old knees. He's got the reverse C. See the bend in the left knee? He's got the reverse C. See? Everybody was into that. Nicklaus was into it. And they copied Nicklaus. But everybody was swinging that way back then. I mean, well, let me see if I can find Jack here. I mean, what did like?
Yeah, I think it goes back to.
Sorry. What did Jim Flick say? What did Jim Flick tell you about the knees and stuff? What else?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I don't remember him talking about the knees or legs at all.
Uh-huh.
I don't.
Well, that should tell you something right there. In other words, you want to be this guy right here.
Yep.
Let's look at Koepka and see how much he moves his knees. Move back a little bit. Will you, Koepka? There you go. Oops. It looks like his hips lock up there a little bit, don't they? They lock up and then they turn.
Yeah, they do. They lock up at some point. That they stop, and his hips almost go backwards.
Look at his hips completely stop right there.
At that point where, yeah, that's that point where the lead leg kind of locks up, and his hips almost go the other way for a fraction of a second.
Now George Knudsen. Let's look at his knees. Look like his right leg is just sort of sliding. See that? Looks like a Billy Casper move.
Yeah.
He must have had a closed face of some kind. I can't tell. I don't have a downline view for him. Let's look at Dustin Johnson. What does he do with his knees? God, I don't like the way he takes it back. See, I don't see that the knees are a tremendous contributor to power. If anything, I think when people start trying
The
to
way I
move
look
their, go ahead.
it is the knees perform as kind of a break in the swing. Especially the front leg, when the front leg extends, it acts as a brake for the upper half to start whipping through. But interesting. I did or saw a video of Chris Como. He jumped off a high dive, an Olympic pool, and he tried to swing a golf club while he was falling, and he wasn't able to, get any create any motion because he had nothing to use from underneath. He had nothing to use from the ground. But I think that especially that lead leg, it acts as a brake, is the way I like to look at it, to really get the upper half whipping through.
If anything, I'd rather see somebody think about. Well, there's my buddy Joe Daly. He's off the tour now. Good guy. Bag's a little bit in the way. Let's see what he does. Now you talk about a guy who was I guess you want to call him a grinder, or the veteran, like the what they call the journeyman quarterback. Probably nobody knows who Joe Daly is, but yet he won a major on the senior tour, and he's played all his life since out of college. And I mean, put some money together, get somebody, give him some money, let's go play the South African tour. Get a little money together, let's go play the Asian tour. Get a little money together, let's go play. I mean, he'd play every kind of tour there was out there. I mean, he was a player. That's all he wanted to do was play golf all day. And that's really hard. And then once it runs out and the faucet turns off because you get older, now what do you do? So he's doing. Hopefully, he's very successful. And I hope he's doing what you call artificial turf.
Okay, there you have it.
See, now if you want to have some knees, these are the knees.
Yeah, I love that right there.
Look at these knees.
I love that lower half position.
I wonder if he used to dance the flamenco a lot. I had to ask him. Next time I see him, I should ask him. Say, did you used to dance the flamenco? Look at those shoes. Al Capone would be proud to wear those shoes. Al Capone would wear those shoes. Look at this. He's really a nice guy, by the way. Anybody doesn't know, they think see him on TV. He is like he is on TV. He is really pretty down to earth, easy to talk to. See that?
You can understand what he's saying. Yeah, I think he does it on purpose. He does it on purpose, so people don't know what he's saying. I think he messes with people all the time.
Oh, here, he's right here with me. Hold on a second. ¿Qué cosa que le vamos a decir que de verdad, que sí, seriamente, que la jugada que hay cuántas veces que he jugado yo en este torneo y de verdad estoy muy feliz de estar en Estados Unidos. That's all right. We're going to get him good next time. When he comes back in October, if they have the tournament, I'm going to take the foursome that's playing with, because I always go with him on the Pro-Am. And I'm going to have him sing, ay, 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 canta, no llores, right on the first tee to him. We did last time. I had everybody go, every time I hit a decent shot, they go, ole! See, but look, his knees don't do anything. And he hits a 296 on average. So how can we say the knees are going to make you hit the ball further, except that if you squat more and you push against the ground, which is what they're talking about today. So explain that one, Darren. How does that go?
I saw a good post from Luke Donald yesterday, and he talked a little bit about that squat, and it is definitely a power source. As you get closer to the ground, as the club's moving in the ball, you can now push away from the ground, and it's almost like a jumping type of motion. So you're getting more force off the ground by flexing your knees. So now through the hit, you can extend the knees, and you can create a lot more speed. And like I said, I think that lead leg is important because it acts as a brake to really create speed in there. So I'm a big fan of having good work, but I rarely teach it because people aren't that far into their swing yet. They still need to learn to control the face first.
Ah, I'm glad you said that. Because that's why I hang around you. Because the problem is, yes, it's another source of power, but at what risk? You know, are you risking hitting the ball all over the friggin' planet to try and get that extra 5 yards? But if you watch the left leg on Perky here, now watch his left knee. See? It's straight. He posts the left knee like that. Boom! They both snap together. The hip snap and the release of the hands are timing at the same time. This is sort of what it feels like to me. I feel like my right hip.
I love that right there.
See the way he's.
I love that right there.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of that snapping.
That's how I've always
like
felt
it.
all my life. That's how I always thought as a kid right here. Just say, boom. And I like his impact position. Look at this. Look how you get the hands out in front. There's everything there to like. Wish we got to call him and see if he'll be stupid enough to come on one of our webinars. He might do it. He might not know any better. And he just, Matsuyama, let's see what he does with his knee.
Well, that's what he's doing nowadays, right?
Yeah. I mean, he might, let's call him. What's the difference?
Yep.
We got a lot of people that watch our webinars, and we won't make a total fool out of them or anything. I mean, we'll be nice.
He's way too nice.
We had this girl one time that she came on. She was on a ladies tour. I forgot her name now, but I made the night before. I made a video found a video on YouTube of some girl beating the crap out of the guy's pickup truck, smashing the windows and everything with a 9-iron, sort of like Tiger's wife kind of a thing. And then I got another one. It's a bunch of cats fighting. And I told her, I says, well, you play golf. I said, do you have a bad temper? Do you get mad after you play? She says, no, I don't really get that upset. I says, yeah, well, that's not what I heard. Let me show you. And I showed the video of her beating the crap out of the truck. She said, that's not me. It's not me. I said, well, what about when you girls get in the clubhouse and you get in the locker room afterwards? I said, what's that like? She said, we're pretty calm. I says, yeah, that's not what I heard. Here's our microphone we had in there. And we're cat fight.
Never heard from her again.
She hasn't come back again. I don't understand it. I don't know. We invited her back. She didn't want to come back. Look at these knees. See, I think more knees. I think stability, not power source. Stability. I agree with Nicklaus. In other words, it gave me the more stable I can be in the lower body, the harder I can swing my arms and get away with it. Meaning I didn't get off path. You agree with that, Darren, or is that?
I agree with you. Yep.
Darren already left. He's afraid we're going to get a call from the LPGA. You say, hey, what the heck? You don't have to call there. Call the PGA. They're all joined up over there now. What's the difference? Unbelievable. Oops. Whatever happened to Duffner? Did he just go away? Haven't heard from him at all.
No, he's still around. He's still around.
See, but look at Weiskopf and look at the reverse C. They all talked about the world famous reverse C. Now another thing too, the golf clubs back in those days had a higher center of gravity, and you almost had to lean back and get a reverse C to get some launch angle out of it. That can have something to do with it. You look over here and you see straight, curved. The beach?
Yeah, part of our Nicklaus program was steady head. And Jack tried to keep his head in the same position, even into a finish. Like Duffner there, once he hits the golf ball, his head goes forward.
Right.
And you can see Weiskopf there, even into the finish, he's kept his head in the same spot. And I think that's why you see some of that reverse C, because of, and you look at Johnny Miller, he's another great example. because of players back then, they tried to keep their head in the same spot because that's what Jack did.
Well, then you know what? Johnny Miller and Boom Boom, what was his name? Um, Freddie Couples. All the guys, they should all sue Jack Nicklaus for all the back operations. Say it's your fault.
Exactly.
I like
But
where Duffner is right now a lot more, and especially for the average golfer to save their back. I think it's a lot better place to be. Release the upper body, let it go. The ball's gone. The ball's gone.
yep, that definitely was unthought of back in the day. You got to keep your head still, and that caused some of that reverse C for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's open up the microphone. You can ask questions of world famous Darren DeMailey. You probably won't want to ask me because I'm going to say something stupid.
Darren, you mentioned handle drag, I think. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So what handle dragging is, it's kind of a term to describe how the handle of the golf club moves through impact. So it would be very much a de-lofting of the golf club where the hands are extremely ahead and they stay ahead for a long period of time. And it was a big thing back in the day. And like I said, I think it's because of the golf ball back then. You tried to keep spin off of it. There you go. That's a good example here on the right. Good picture here on the right. See how the hands are ahead there. And maintaining the hands ahead would be handle dragging.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Makes sense.
So yeah, this third guy, yeah, exactly. He's a big time handle dragger there. But it's you don't see much of that nowadays. You know, one of my students, Gary Shaw, who's the president of the PGA for a number of years, that's one of the problems he has. You know, he's just kind of an old classic swinger of the golf club, and handle dragging was the in thing. And we're trying to get him out of it nowadays because of the modern golf ball. He just hits it too low and doesn't really generate enough spin. So to me, it's all relative to the golf ball. That's why I think you see all these different types of motions and how things change over the years.
Yeah, in fact, I was telling Adam today, new guy that just came on over here in Richmond. You're going to like this kid. Yeah, you're going to like him a lot. And I told him, I says, look, club face, path, golf ball. Club face, path, golf ball. Look at the club face, look at the path, and then see what the ball did. Here's the whole story. They focused on the club face, the path, and the golf ball. Now, if you didn't see it,
Yep.
golf ball will tell you what happened.
Yep.
Stay focused on those three things. And he looks pretty good. He needs a little bit of work. In fact, hold on. I can go here. Let me see. And Adam. Adam Pearson. Here he is. There's a train coming by. Let me go here. Let me turn Darren back on. There you go, Darren. Now, let me take this off. Adam Pearson. Now you look at his swing from this angle. Oops. How did that happen? What was the downline angle?
Indiana Jones there.
Yeah, it looks like Indiana Jones. Will you come on and hit it?
Ooh, well, nice.
See, his pass pretty decent here. He's a little sloppy. How he takes it back a little sloppy. Takes it back a little sloppy. We can fix that. See, look where he gets the golf club.
Wow, that's pretty darn good there. It's tough to miss hit one from there.
Yeah, but wait, you see what he does here. Mucho malo. We're fixing it. That's what we do. We fix golf swings. We fix golf swings, and we drink beer. Now he stays really steady over the ball here, but then watch what the left hip does. See, his hips get ahead of the arms. That's because everybody thinks that they shift that weight towards the front foot, that is a surge. It's a form of power. It's not. It's leaking the power out. It's making the club go slower because the hands and arms can't move at the rate of speed they should be moving at, and that is as fast as they can possibly go. The faster the arms go, the further faster the club's going to go, the further the ball's going to go. Club's not hooked to your hip.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, you got to take care of that knee action there for sure.
Oh yeah. We'll get rid of it. We're already getting to work on it. Today was the first day. We'll get rid of that.
Yep.
See, so once he moves laterally, then all of a sudden, see the club opens up prematurely. You say there's no handle lag there or handle drag. See?
No.
See, so now he's going to get more altitude than he'd like because of this right here.
Yep, exactly.
Ball's going to go up in the air. But without the video, he looks great. Once you put the video on and slow it down, move it frame by frame. That's why it's so important. If you're listening today or you're watching afterwards or whatever, if you haven't seen your swing on video, you need to get out your cell phone and just send it in, and we'll do the first one absolutely free, let you see it. No obligation to buy anything. You just put up with our shenanigans. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays, everybody's going to the online videos. There's all these pros out there that have nothing better to do with their time. Don't be fooled, because, we do this on a full-time basis, and we're the leaders when it comes to the online lessons. So don't be fooled by some of the other imposters out there.
Oh, and that's the thing. A lot of them, they have a video they pre-canned. And that's what we have in our drills. But we don't give you every drill we have. We're going to assign a drill that's specific to your situation. We're actually doing a lesson. What they're doing is they're saying you have access to their vault of drills. Well, man, that's like having the key to a pharmacy. And you say, guess what? I got COVID-19. I got to get rid of this crap. You say, okay, start over here and just go all the way around and take one pill of every bottle you find until you find one that works. And that's going to kill you. And it kills your golf game too. You're trying this, you're trying that. Some guy tells, drive your hip to your left foot. Well, you might already drive your hip to the left foot too much as it is. Or you might be somebody that spins out, and you could use that. So you can't go in generalities and just go with people have pre recorded videos. It's not the way to go, I don't think.
Nope. You got to find that one thing, as we always say, that one thing that you need to work on. And then that's where our professional opinions make a big difference.
Now, anybody else got a question? If not, we'll hit the road here. Going once.
Bobby, you guys are basically saying that the lower body should move just as a reaction to the upper body movement, right?
In a way.
Okay.
In fact, if
yeah,
anything,
I like the way you described that. Exactly.
Yeah, like that. For me, the way I feel like I'm working against my lower body. Like my lower body's trying to stay still and my upper body's moving. I'm trying to keep the lower body as quiet as possible to keep the upper body from moving off path.
Okay. And don't you guys think that like the lower body movement, or in fact, the golf swing has changed? Like I remember looking at pictures of Bobby Jones. I mean, because of the equipment he was using, he had a lot of hip turn. I mean, huge hip turn, I think. But that was maybe because of the whippy shafts that he had to use, the hickory shafts. And then the 70s, everybody picked up their left foot real high and then returned it to the ground. And wouldn't that kind of create more of a leg movement?
The more you move, the more risk you take on. Doesn't mean it's going to screw up. Doesn't mean you're going to screw up, but the more risk you take on, the more rhythm you have to have.
Okay.
So if you're not Cuban like me, you probably don't have as much rhythm. Don't get me started. Who else? Did somebody hung up already?
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
All right. Any other questions? If not, we'll call it a day. Going once. Going twice. 3 times. You're out. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something.
Yes, thanks, Bobby.
Yeah,
All right,
thanks,
gang.
Bobby.
See you, Darren.
Yep.